My manipulative boyfriend I was with for 6 years. Hi, I thought I'd come on here and share a story I've only shared with family and friends, but I think people might find this interesting as well. For reference, I am non-binary but have only identified as such since I was 17, I'm now 20, almost 21. I'll be referring to myself as such and ask that people respect that. I transferred to a new school in 5th grade. It was a big change because I had gone from a big public school to a tiny public charter school. This school also specialized in autistic kids and their siblings. My brother, who's a year and a half younger than me, was diagnosed when he was 6 or 7. I'm also autistic but didn't get diagnosed until I was 14. Anyways, in this new school I had an easier time making and keeping friends just because I could actually express myself in a better way. This is also where I met Chadifer, not real name. He was really cool and I loved hanging out with him, and he liked hanging out with me. I thought I developed a crush, I really didn't, I just wanted to be his friend. He developed a crush on me as well, so we decided to become crushes. For some context, I grew up in a very conservative state and family. I couldn't date until I was 16 and could only date a singular person consistently if I was looking for a husband when I was 18 and over. Chadifer grew up with the same rules. Nothing too significant happened until the end of the school year when I said we should have a break over the summer. And then we entered middle school. 6th grade we just stayed friends and he became crushes with a popular girl who isn't too important to this particular story. Then 7th grade hit and we were back to crushes. Now this is kinda where things started going downhill. I started hanging out with him at his house. He was really into video games. Specifically horror video games. Now I love horror stuff, but back then I despised it. One of the games he liked to play was FNAF. He only had the first game at the time and he really wanted me to play. I told him no over and over, but I finally gave in after he threatened to never talk to me again, and me, being the shy, easily manipulated person I was, gave in and played. It was absolutely horrifying, like it should be, but I was not ready for it. Another game he would make me play was Yanda Simulator, which unlike FNAF I don't think I'll ever be able to play again. And that's just because he pushed the Yanda stereotype so far onto me that I actually started believing that I was a Yanda, that I would unalive if any competition got in the way. And he loved it. With the combination of him pushing this harmful stereotype, threatening to not talk to me anymore if I didn't do what he said, and the abshay happening at home, I developed BPD, borderline personality disorder. Luckily his manipulation never got as bad as SA, but it still affects me to this day. After we graduated from middle school and entered high school, my mental health took a major decline. I was constantly in and out of the psych ward because of a slew of different disorders that I won't publicly share all on here. But Chadifer started playing mind games. He would fuel my Yanda side, but then turn his back on me when I was in an actual mental health crisis. He refused to believe that I was Shing, that I wanted to self-unalive, etc. He also started making awful jokes about sensitive subjects such as CSA, child abs, etc. I hated these jokes because I was a victim of CSA and child abs. I would constantly ask him to stop with his reply of, "It's just a joke." He started to comment nasty things about my appearance behind my back. Thankfully I had really good friends who were there to tell me about his unsavory comments, but sadly I didn't listen to their advice to leave him for a good while, and then giving me compliments when talking to me. I ended up developing an ed from his two-faced comments as well as my family putting pressure on me to lose weight. I tried so hard to look the way he wanted me to look. But it was never enough. In 9th grade one realized I was a roace, and that I never was romantically or sexually attracted to Chadifer. I'm actually abrosexual, but that's a whole other thing. I never told him and just kept the relationship out of fear. Then at the beginning of 11th grade one realized that I'm also non-binary. This realization really was the end of the line for me. He would have never supported me if I came out to him as non-binary. So I called him with a friend by my side. He was in a group call with his online buddies and refused to get off so I could talk to him, just me, him and my friend. So I came out to him and broke up with him while his buddies listened. Boy was he pissed. I don't exactly remember what happened next, but either he or I hung up the call. I was emotionally shattered, not by the breakup necessarily but by his anger towards me. I knew he wouldn't understand and that he would act like this. But I still wasn't prepared. I do have to mention that this was in the midst of the pandemic, so we didn't see each other in person at all. I told the rest of my friend group what happened, and eventually the entire school knew. A few days later, one of our mutual friends had gotten a message from Chadafa saying that he was going to unalive himself and that he was shing because I broke up with him. He also attached a photo of blood in a sink. The friend sent a screenshot to me asking what we should do. I'm not going lie, I was scared, but also knew from my friends that this was a manipulation tactic. So I saved the screenshot and sent it to his mother. His mom got back to me saying while she was concerned, she had the same photo in her gallery from when Chadafa had a bloody nose. I told the mutual friend and told Chadafa this. He got really pissed and tried to get pity from the rest of the friend group, but it was to no avail. Everyone in the school knew he was abseive at this point, and he ended up being homeschooled for the rest of high school. And that's basically it. Just to end this, I've never seen him again, I've moved on, and I just wanted to share my story. I may have missed a few parts, but it's hard to remember every detail. There won't be any updates, but who knows what will happen. Thanks for reading.